My wife and I have been out looking for alligators, and my wife, Aunt Mango, was walking down a little hill and then back up a hill while I was still up here. And when she got down there, she made a high-pitched noise, and I went pretty fast in this direction to find out what happened. And she had found a an alligator down here, and she was safe because it was about 1.5 meters below her level, and there was a fence here too. So she made this high-pitched noise, and I zoomed this way. And what happened was she caught the alligator had been sleeping, and it got startled when she made the high-pitched noise and went in the water. So then we continued down the path, and this started happening again, but this time I went with her down this little hill. And when we got to the place, we didn't see any gators. But then I was a little over halfway down, right about here, and a gator started jumping out of the water at me. But I was still safe because I was about 1.5 meters above the water level. I had not seen that one. I don't know where he came from. And the picture I'm about to draw is going to be inspired by the gator, especially his back. So when I saw the gator coming out of the water, his back looked gray. And to me, it looked dry, which is strange because I didn't see it before it jumped. So I don't I don't know where it was other than underwater. So I'm going to have an axis of symmetry. Right there. This also means line of symmetry. Symmetry has to do with a mirror image. You have two M's here to remind you of mirrors. Now I have two options. I can either draw my nature picture realistically or abstractly. So I'm intending to make mine abstract, or more abstract than real. So down here we have the origin, and I'm going to draw this in 2 dimensions. And what I want to do is draw some parabolas. We have what I call sad parabolas. So that's kind of like the scales. And you do not have to make your drawing have parabolas if you don't want to. So these 4 spots are called vertices. Vertices is plural for vertex. Each one is a vertex. So we have 4, and these are parts of parabolas. And vertex number 1 is at 0. I'll call it 3. Vertex 2 is at 0, 5. Vertex 3 is at 0, 7. And vertex 4 is at 0, 9. So each of these is an ordered pair with the horizontal number of units from the origin first. Positive means right, negative means left, and the vertical number of units from the origin second, where positive means up and negative means down. Okay. So every parabola, and they keep going, but I'm not really worried about that right now. Could be written in the form y equals a times x minus h sub n parentheses squared plus k sub n. Okay. N is an element of the natural numbers. And n is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it has to be a natural number greater than 0 and less than 5. So when n is 1, the vertex is at 0, 3, and so on. And then we could put it in here also. Now all the a's are going to be the same because they all have the same steepness. Y sub 1 is a times x minus, and all of these are also in the form h comma k, minus 0 squared plus 3. So all of the h sub n's are going to be 0 because all of the x parts of the vertices are 0. So y sub 1 is a times x squared plus 3. So I already used 0, comma 3. So now I want to use negative 3, comma 2. So 2 is a times negative 3 squared plus 3. So 2 is 9a plus 3. So negative 1/9 is a. And these are sad parabolas, even though they keep going forever. So this number should be negative because of the sad look to them. So all the a's are going to be negative 1/9, negative 1 over 9, because they all have the same shape, and each curve is just translated up or down. So now I'll put my answer. Y sub 1 equals negative 1/9 x squared plus 3. Y sub 2 is negative 1/9 x squared plus 5. And so on. That's great, but I didn't talk about carbon yet. And my drawing is pretty simple. I want it to be abstract. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I'm not a great artist, I just like it. So this now is not symmetric. Something happened to his head that is making him go a little bit that way. But when he was jumping at me, it was so splashy, right? And I wasn't that scared, but I was startled. And I don't have to make anything super anyway. I just can make it how I feel like it. So that's a good start. And but he's got teeth in there. And so I'll just say teeth inside. All right. So this one is not gonna win the beautiful contest for the best drawing, but it's okay. All right. So now I need to talk about carbon. And in general, this way oxygen goes. Okay. Oxygen is not carbon. So I didn't get a point yet. But this way, carbon dioxide goes, and that just got me a point. See? And if you want, you can even put check marks by your carbon math points. There's carbon, there's a number, carbon math. But unfortunately, you cannot use that exact same one. Okay. So I got 1 point already. And then there's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm allowed to be messy. So what do these 6 do? They remind me of carbon because carbon has 6 protons and the normal regular carbon has 6 electrons. And then you see how there's 6? Boom, I got another point because it's about carbon. Carbon has 6, right? Carbon. Okay. Now, am I done? No. So because of the use of AI on some of the last challenge, which was Easter, we have to do a progress pick. In your progress pick, you need to have at least a little bit of your hand. And then I take a picture. Okay. Now, your hand is not going to be in my video, but it's just to help me know that this is a human because computers are getting better at this. Then I have to have a finish pick. So I'm not finished yet. I have to keep going. So I already talked about carbon 2 times. My picture is a little weak. So let's go back to picture town. And in here, what if I made X be -9? So this was the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I could say y sub 1 is -1/9 times -9 squared plus 3. But -9 times himself is 81. Times 1 is 81. Divided by 9 is 9. -9 plus 3 is -6. So let's say y sub 1 of -9 is -6. So, and then the origin's right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is there. And then -9 is 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right about there. So this is like that, approximately. I'm actually having fun right now, believe it or not. All right. It's roughly like that. And then over here, just do a little bit of this, you know, that's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm ready for the finish pick. In the finish pick, I do not have to put my finger, okay? And then maybe I'll just say what my name is over here, the UB. Ta-da. Okay, so now I want to talk a little more about carbon. So I can go to a place called Google Scholar if I want to, and I can pick alligator carbon. So everybody's supposed to find something in nature close to them and then do something like what I did, but you don't have to use parabolas. They could be circles or lines, or they have to have some kind of math in the drawing. Technically, with the rubric, you just need two carbon math things. I did a lot more over here. If you see a link on the right side, that means usually you can see the whole thing. American alligators, alligator mississippiensis as wetland ecosystem carbon stock regulators. And then it talks about blue carbon refers to organic carbon sequestered by oceanic and coastal ecosystems. And I could keep reading, or I can skip around. North America harbors 42% of tidally influenced global wetland area. And I can look around some more carbon data. So here's some math inside of this article. And they use centimeters, even though this looks like a United States-based article. Usually it says where they work. Southeastern Louisiana University. That's in the United States. So they're scientists, so they use centimeters. And Louisiana's over here. So I can get some carbon facts out of here if I need to for my two math carbon facts. And that's one way to go. So lastly, around the whole world, there's nature. So you can choose grass, you could choose grasshopper, you could choose a spider, you could choose a horse, a fish, tree. You can choose anything. And if you're not able to get outside, you can look through a window, or maybe you could find a bug around your house somewhere, like a housefly. Okay. So we have all this nature, but what about us? Are we nature? A lot of people would say yes, we're nature because we have carbon, and that's not the only reason, but there's carbon in us. And we go through like cellular respiration, even though some nature does photosynthesis. And this isn't like an exhaustive, this is just a thoughtful process. And pretty much concludes the video. Hopefully I explained everything that you need to do, and everybody have a great day.